So the thing that you kind of learn when you're bedwetting growing up.
Today we have a very special guest. He's an entrepreneur and founder of Fresh Steeps and Optimized brand. He's a purple belt in jiu-jitsu. And last but not least, he is my biological brother. Introducing to you, Vincent LaPelusa. Where do you go by Vince?
Vince.
Introducing Vince LaPelusa.
This is what bliss feels like.
You warm?
I'm warm.
We're both purple belts. We're gonna be bouncing off each other, playing a little jiu-jitsu, and having fun while doing it, ideally.
I'm feeling limber, feeling strong.
I'm scared. Vince's company. He's an entrepreneur and founder of Fresh Steeps, and this is my absolute favorite. I lived in Argentina for a year, and I started drinking mate religiously, daily. It's really popular down there, so this is a blend of mate, lemongrass, orange peel, and green tea, and it's my go-to every single day. Followed by mint medley. Is that this one?
That's that one. Yeah.
Yeah. As far as cold brew, why don't you get into cold brew? Because cold brewing is like, it's the summertime and people are really starting to ask about it. So
it is.
Talk tea with us.
The cold brew season is upon us. It's something I've learned. People don't know much about tea as a cold beverage. They assume, when I talk to them, this is just based on the data that I've collected, they immediately assume it's a hot beverage and they don't like it. So I've been cold brewing, especially these two teas, the Immunity and the Mint Medley, and they're fantastic. So the cold brew process, how I do it is an 18-hour process of cold water on the dried tea leaves in a mason jar of any size, and you put the cold water in. 18 hours later, you keep it in the fridge. It's done. You just filter it out. Super easy. What it does to the actual leaves, and why I prefer it with different blends, is it creates a smoother, almost cleaner taste to the tea. Something that's sweeter. So for example, my Immunity blend has hibiscus in it. Now when you steep hibiscus hot, it can be tart to some people and sour. When you do it the cold brew process, it negates a lot of that tartness, sourness, things that people don't always want. So it makes a lot smoother, sweeter taste. I actually add a little bit of honey as well to it, and it's chef's kiss. And it's like having something, especially after jiu-jitsu, something like that, you can just go home, open up the fridge, and grab a cold brew. It's nice. Yeah, it's nice.
It's definitely the tits.
How you doing?
Not real?
No.
Nice.
This looks like a bad position for me.
It is. Oh, dang it. and I we're longtime bedwetters. Not the ones that started in college from drinking. We just grew up that way. So how has that played into you taking risks in life and starting your own company? And how does that relate to tea?
So the thing that you kind of learn when you're bedwetting growing up, the trauma that's built around sleepovers is real.
Yes.
Because I don't know about you, I've had many sleepovers where one, just going to the sleepover, I knew 75% chance, 80% chance I'm gonna pee wherever someone dedicates me to sleep. So that little fear of that, and still showing up for the sleepover, like overcoming that fear.
Yeah.
A little bit of that. And then the next morning waking up in your puddle of urine and having to maneuver around people's...
It's a self-brew.
It's a self-brew of sorts. And at that time, I was a chronic liar when it came to it. You would think that your friends would pick up that, hey, every time Vince sleeps over, the dog pisses all over him. It's so weird, like every night. Because that was my go-to lie, was like, yeah, the dog must have peed on me. I learned how to eventually just accept who I am, and I think that's helped me in taking steps and talking about the things that I love.
That's so fascinating, because we've talked about this, but I don't remember. I had a completely different experience. Whenever I went to someone's house, my percentage of bedwetting went down. I was only a 5%, 10%. I would still have the fear of going over and the what if, but I don't know if I just never slept. I would allow myself into the REM sleep that would allow me to pee.
Oh, yeah.
But I peed the bed once. We have an older sister, and her friends slept over, and they invited me to join them in the movie night. And this was like, I was 13, just entering puberty. They were 15, so it was like a dream come true. Any 13-year-old's dream come true. And I fell asleep in the basement, like, in the arms of one of my sister's friends, because, I don't know, she didn't like me, but it was like she wanted to cuddle me. I was just that little guy, or whatever.
Yeah, you're the little brother at that point. I mean, yeah.
Pee all over. It's my own basement. I wake up in a panic, and the basement's dark, and I couldn't find the exit. For 30 minutes, I was in a maze of my own it's like little hellscape. It smelled like pee, and it was cold, and I couldn't find my way out. And I ended up just like sitting down in the pitch black. This was before cell phones. I couldn't just bust out my cell phones. And that's the time I peed. But it was at home still. I wasn't sleeping out.
The comfort level is there. I have vivid memories of sharing twin beds with friends. I won't name names, but I apologize.
Shout out.
My one lie was that I woke up in the middle of the night to get orange juice and spilled over the two of us, and I didn't wake him up. As kids, it's like, I just had like a level of trust. People trusted me. Like, oh, this makes sense. This makes sense. This orange juice is extremely light colored and smells like urine.
I drank the orange juice.
You right, man. Oh no.
You know what? I have a very shameful... I don't think I've ever told you this, or if I have, it's been a while.
Yeah.
Where I lied about fluids that came out of my body.
I don't even know what that means.
Yes. So, again, 12, 13-year-old. I was one of the last people to go through puberty within my friends group.
For sure.
And this was 2002, 2001, so HBO was flowing. There was cable TV. One of my friends had DirecTV and a basement, and a finished basement. So we would go over to his house after we were done playing capture the flag or sports or whatever, and he would turn on porn in the nighttime. And then on a large couch, we would each take a quadrant. If there was four of us, we would each have like a 5 to 10 foot section of the couch and our own blanket, and then we would group masturbate watching porn.
Horrid.
It was never my idea, but it wasn't my house, and I'm respectful. At this point, I couldn't masturbate, so that's why it definitely wasn't my idea. We would all have our own blankets, and then I would just fake it. I would just fake like I was masturbating, not knowing what I was doing, mostly just punching myself in the nuts and
slapping the inner thigh,
basically, waiting for them to be done. And then at the end, a few times, they were all comparing their fluids. And I had nothing to compare. So I ran to the bathroom. And I'm like, okay, what looks like cum? They happen to have coconut lime suave shampoo. And I took my washcloth that I'd been assigned, and I squeezed a huge pile of coconut suave shampoo, and I smashed it together hamburger style, and then I brought it out, and I'm like, look. And they're like, oh my god, that's so much. And why does it smell like coconut lime?
Just a little bit.
Oop, easy.
Yep.
So how would you take tea and jiu-jitsu and create a bridge between them using your words and knowledge?
Yeah. Going back to our conversation earlier, what does jiu-jitsu mean?
The gentle art.
The gentle art. So, to me, jiu-jitsu is a gentle art, tea is a very gentle art. And it really is an art. Like when you sit with tea and you actually take the time to brew it, to steep it, it really does take technique. So the original tea brewing process is actually known as Gung Fu Cha. And that means basically like the martial arts of tea. So it's the steeping of tea as an art form. Same like with jiu-jitsu. Jiu-jitsu is a martial arts. So I think there's a bridge there of when you tune into the fine details of brewing your cup of tea, as well as when you're on the mat and you tune into the fine details. I mean, really the difference between a brown belt and a black belt, from what I've been told, is the details. Like, so a black belt will know exactly how his fingers should be placed on someone's gi, on someone's arm, on someone's wherever, versus a brown belt might not know those little tiny details yet. It's kind of the same with the tea brewing process, whereas like if you're just a beginner to tea, you'll throw a tea bag in boiling water, let it sit. It's probably not going to taste that great. The more and more you learn how to work with these different herbs, and each herb has a different, like, wants to be brewed in a different way. So the more and more you learn that, it becomes an art form, and you can kind of flow with it, use all five senses, and really dive into what's in the cup. Same as jiu-jitsu.
Thank you for tuning in today's episode. I was totally inspired and had so much fun with my brother Vince. Thank you for rolling with us, and like and subscribe if you want, and we'll see you next time. Peace. Thank you, brother. Oh,